کل مدرسه رو تخریب کرده بودن. بچه ها همه زیر آوار بودن. دخترمو ساعت 8-9 شب آوردن بیرون. مگه چه گناهی کرده بود یک بچه 6 سال و نیمه هنوز 7 سالش نشده بود؟ اول ابتدایی اینجوری باید زیر آوار باشه، اینجوری باید شهید بشه. داغ خیلی سنگینیه.
These are the images that refuse to fade. It's a defining moment from the onset that'll forever characterize this conflict. At least 165 schoolgirls killed and generations altered. It's needless, yet it's being written off as collateral damage or miscalculation. This is human life that's slowly becoming human cost, not only in Minab, but across Iran and the entire region. Officials in Washington and Israel insist they're targeting military infrastructure. But when classrooms full of children are left in ruins, one is compelled to ask, how could this happen? And how many more civilians will meet a similar fate? When the US and Israel began this war on February 28th, their stated objectives, at least to the public, were to neutralize a nuclear threat, depose of Iran's leadership, and introduce democracy to the Iranian people. These are blatant monikers of American adventurism.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war?
Based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
The only side that targets civilians is Iran.
Yet what's transpired is a completely different story, and those claims by Trump are revealing to be vastly unfounded, as a wide array of investigations suggest repeated missile strikes carried out by the US. Despite the United Nations Security Council drafting a resolution that condemns Iranian retaliatory strikes, the UNSC hasn't given the green light to the US or Israel for their initial strikes that have plunged the region into uncertainty. The pattern repeats across the country. Iranian homes leveled, families shattered.
These horrific crimes have resulted in the martyrdom of more than 1,300 civilians. They have also destroyed 9,669 civilian sites, including 7,943 residential homes.
And those numbers continue to rise by the day. It's not just schools, but all types of civilian infrastructure that's being destroyed. Take Qeshm Island, for example, where one strike reportedly devastated a critical desalination plant, a facility that supplied drinking water to thousands. Now, entire communities face shortages of something as fundamental as clean water. This wasn't a military outpost. It was the daily lifeline of ordinary people.
We have our faith on our soil, on our country, on our leadership, which you don't. You don't have courage, we have. You lack, your soldiers lack courage. Our soldiers don't lack courage. I'm an Iranian, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna stand here, I'm gonna be by the side of my people, and we're not scared. Americans don't have a place on the Persian Gulf or the region and the West Asia. They don't have a place. They need to get out. That's what we want.
Some may have envisioned a fractured nation, but what's playing out on Iran's streets is extraordinary.
So they have to pay for this crime.
A galvanized public. The Iranian people are standing up for not only themselves, but their leaders and the fallen. Many marching beneath the sound of explosions. Senior political figures have been killed, nuclear sites damaged, yet the leadership structure and support, those remain intact.
The political system, despite all the odds, despite all the critical situation that we are facing, is very stable, efficient, and able to conduct the governance of Iran.
For the United States, their attack on Iran, alongside domestic political rifts and international fallout, points to an unmistakable irony.
Anti-aircraft is decimated, their radar is gone, and their leaders are gone. Other than that, they're doing quite well.
And it's precisely that sentiment that's become a reality check for some US officials. The counterterrorism chief's resignation, Joe Kent, stepping away from the very role tasked with preventing the kind of instability this war was supposedly meant to stop. That single act exposes deep divisions at the highest levels of American politics.
There was clearly an imminent threat that Iran was very close to the enrichment of nuclear capability, and they were building missiles at a pace that no one in the region could keep up.
Was Iran on the verge of getting a nuclear weapon?
No, they weren't, 3 weeks ago when this started, and they weren't in June either.
So we're left with a precarious circumstance no one planned for. The region now faces a conflict whose trajectory feels increasingly chaotic. And without even delving into the economic ramifications, traditional allies of the US and Israel are seemingly reluctant to get involved.
However, there will be no military participation.
Nous ne sommes pas partie prenante au conflit. Et donc, jamais la France ne prendra part à des opérations d'ouverture ou de libération du détroit d'Ormuz.
And now, the United States and Israel have acted without engaging the UN or consulting with allies, including Canada.
International governments and organizations have denounced not only the civilian deaths, but the precedent of this kind of preemptive action. But does any of this condemnation really matter? Is it enough? The faces of the schoolgirls from Minab, their portraits remain a quiet, unflinching record of what this war has already taken. It's an unsettling parallel to the ambiguity of where this situation is headed. After 30 days, we in fact do have answers, and that the motives behind this campaign will never vindicate the lives lost, the communities broken, and the path of destruction that's been left in its wake.